Week 4.
It's been a great start to this season. Not well for us Ravens fans. Not a great one. Not a great game. Honestly, we got exposed in almost every aspect. Just got out coached to every degree, offensively, defensively. The only bright few spots was special teams. Congrats to Devin Duvernay on that 93-yard touchdown. But Casey, I have mixed feelings about it because I know Baltimore could play better than that. They just came in and just knew what to do, like with that touchdown to Nico Hardman. It's like they just ran a post dig behind it. They knew Marcus Peters was gonna jump the dig and then just throw the post behind him. And then you see Deshaun Elliott looking at Peters like, what are you doing? It's like they just knew what Peters would do naturally just because he was a chief and they know his intentions. And that's just being just well better off coach than us. Now there were some holding calls, but that should have been called weren't. But even if they were called, I don't know what the outcome could have been. It could have been next play, a 30-yard touchdown, what it could be. But I think Baltimore will come back from this again, and I think we'll have another rematch against Kansas City. And I do believe Lamar will finally get his win, even though he didn't this week, and that he will, and finally still be my Super Bowl pick to win it all. So,
I agree with Emmanuel. I mean, we played horrible, but there were some calls left and right that could have been called or that could have been over like viewed and stuff like that. But it happens. It's week 3. We're gonna step up in the playoffs and we're gonna show Patrick Mahomes what we are.
Yeah. We have, just like every other team in the NFL, a lot of holes in our squad. One thing you need to beat the Chiefs is a pass rush. You need to get pressure to the quarterback with 4 guys, not 7. You can't drop people out of coverage against the Chiefs. That's just not going to work. But I'm excited. Lamar, he didn't keep his head down like he did last time against the Titans. He led us back into the game. It was 27-20. That was a bright spot. We have a lot to improve on, but I feel like we're gonna see them again. So yeah.
Yeah, well, at least the Patriots got the W, right, guys? All right, we got the win. But going back to the Raiders game, like I said, on week 3, our first priority was stopping Josh Jacobs. I know he got 71 yards, which is all right, but he didn't. Stats don't always tell the story, and he didn't play that good. We shut down Darren Waller. Stephon Gilmore did a great job. We just did our thing. Cam didn't have the best game, but he did enough. But next week, I mean, well, not next week, Sunday, going against KC, which is going to be hard. Mr. E, I know you picked the Steelers to lose last week against Houston. They actually won. So what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I thought I was going to be right when it was 14-3 halfway through the second quarter. But it turns out that the Steelers played kind of an interesting defense against the Texans, where they really just played zone the whole first half, which just left guys open all over the field because we weren't getting to Deshaun. Second half, we backed off of that and we kind of stepped up and played full-on press man and were blitzing on every play, and they had 0 points in the second half. So it tells me a couple of things. It tells me we wanted to put something on tape in the first half that says, look, we're going to sit back in this zone, and you don't know what we're going to do with this yet. We're just throwing you a vanilla zone, and we're going to see if you can just beat it up and down the field, keep us loose. And second half, we're just going to crush you because we trust that our offense is going to be able to score enough points. And that's kind of how it went. I think we're going to have a similar strategy employed against Tennessee and against Baltimore as well. We have those opportunities. You want to put quarterbacks that can move, you want to put them up against zones sometimes because you force them to guess on the windows. That said, I think that moving forward, this is just week 3, guys. So if I'm a Ravens fan, I'm not freaking out too much yet. If I'm a Steelers fan, I'm not too excited about being 3-0 against teams that are combined 0-9. At the end of the day, guys, this is week 4 coming up, but I am excited to start seeing teams formulate their identity.
Well, yeah, as a Packers fan, these past couple of weeks have been amazing. Seeing Rodgers be on his best game, this is matching every single stat from his MVP season. You're seeing Alan Lazard step up when Devontae's out and have one of his best games. It's pretty good to see, but the run defense has been really suspect. It's one of the worst tackling I've ever seen on Sunday. Disgusting by maybe 8 missed tackles in one play. But the one good thing is that I think we have the second fewest run attempts faced. So that shows how much being ahead, teams cannot just run the whole game against you. So gotta just score points and you gotta improve that run defense sooner than later.
Starting week 4, we got. I think this should be unanimous. I think everyone knows where this is gonna go. We got the battle of the Beltway. We got the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Washington D.C. playing the football team. Baltimore has a 13 and a half edge. Might as well make this 14, and the over under is 51. I don't see Baltimore losing this game. After losing to Casey the way they did, they're gonna come back firing on all cylinders and just punish Washington football team. And the Washington football team, they don't have Chase Young this game, so that should help our struggling O line for the past few weeks. So I'm going to call. I'm gonna say Baltimore wins 35-14.
I gotta agree with Emmanuel. I mean, we're coming in angry. We're coming in strong. I think we're gonna crush the Washington football team. My score is 42-21.
Well, yeah, I agree with both of them. The Ravens are a great regular season team. They don't play down to their opponents like other teams, and I could see them beating down the Redskins badly, like just like last year against Miami Dolphins week 1. I could see them right here, maybe 41-16 Ravens.
I'm agreeing with everybody. I think after disappointment of on Monday, they're gonna just come back hungrier. Lamar's gonna destroy this defense. I'm sorry. Chase Young's out. Haskins struggled last week. I forgot who they played, but he struggled. I think Ravens defense is gonna have a great game. So I'm gonna say 38-21 Ravens.
I think the defense is looking to rebound after that. I wouldn't say horrible, but questionable performance against the Chiefs. I feel like everybody said, we're hungry, we're angry. Last year we got blown out by the Browns. Then we ripped off like 12 straight games after that. I don't think the Redskins are gonna score a touchdown this game. I have it being 38-3. That's my score.
Right. Tough to argue with what anybody said so far. But to be additive a little bit, I'll say that one of the areas where the Ravens definitely showed some weakness last week offensively is just not having that strong receiver that can go over the middle. That WR2, WR3. Call me crazy, but I feel like your number one receiver is a number 2 receiver, and maybe try to use him that way. You might get more run up the middle of the field. Bottom line is, though, that's going to be a glaring problem come January. So the Ravens have to figure out by committee what's going to fix that. And to me, it's a running back that can catch out of the backfield. I think you got that guy already. We just haven't seen much of him. So I wonder if we will this week see that rookie from Ohio State a little bit more, as you saw in Pittsburgh. Some really good results with McFarland getting on the field. So you expect that Dobbins, who's an even more talented player, would really help. Ravens 35 and Washington football team 13.
Now on to more debatable games because, again, we know the outcome of Baltimore and Washington. To me, opinion, one of the most best games and will define one of these teams. I should define both these teams. You got the Cleveland Browns traveling to Dallas to see the Cowboys. Dallas coming off a loss that they honestly could have won, but again, they thought it was better to draft a receiver instead of drafting DBs after getting torched by Seattle's receivers. But hey, what do I know? Jerry Jones thinks he knows better? Well, let's see how it goes for you. Anyway, Dallas has a 4.5 point edge, and their over under is 55. This is a tough game, but I think I can't believe I'm saying this ever again. Can't believe I'm saying this. I'm so sorry, but I do think the Browns could come in here and possibly pull an upset. Saying this, why? Because Dallas, I don't know which Dallas team I'm gonna get. I'm either gonna get the Dallas team I saw against LA, who actually put up competition, or am I gonna get a team that just gets bullied? And Cleveland has the weapons against. Cleveland has better weapons than Seattle, and I do believe they're gonna turn it on. I just don't see Their secondary stopping Austin Hooper, David Njoku, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, and adding OBJ and Jarvis Landry to the mix. I just don't see it. It'll be high scoring, but I do think Cleveland pulled out the end. I'll say Cleveland wins 38-35. Baker Mayfield, please don't prove me wrong. Please don't.
I want to go with the Browns here. Yeah, this game is going to be extremely high scoring. There's going to be absolutely no defense, but I don't trust Baker to be in a shootout. I can see Dak in a shootout like he did last week, nearly pulling it off. But I want the Browns to win, but I just cannot see a way unless Nick Chubb has a career game or something. But Baker in a shootout, I can't see that happening. I picked the Cowboys to win 30-25.
Yeah, I agree with SA. I think Dak and the Cowboys have shown they can play in these shootouts. You saw against the Falcons when they came back. That's more of a question. That's more of a questionable one because it's more of a is it more of a Falcons choke or is it more of a Cowboys comeback? I feel like you have to give Cowboys comeback on that one. Um, they just the Browns love to run the ball, and it's obvious because they have Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. I don't think that it's gonna work with the Cowboys D line. They have those pass rushers that can get to Hunt and Chubb. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they continue to run the ball, but Baker is gonna have to win this game. And if he doesn't, then he's I don't know. But I feel like this is a game that he should come out and prove everyone wrong. But I have the Cowboys. I think they're gonna win this game. I do question their secondary. I think their secondary is worse behind the Falcons. Their secondary is tough. It's bad to watch. So I feel like Baker is gonna have to pass the ball here, and you you just have to. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say it's gonna be a close game, 31-27, Dallas.
Um,
I
my
I
fault.
go. Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I have Dallas pulling this one out. Um, Baker's due for one bad throw every game, and that was evident. That's evident, and it's happened against every team this season. Um, like SA said, in a shootout, which Dallas has always been in, um, I I don't trust Baker at all. I have Dallas winning this one, 31-24.
The picks look right, but again, I gotta agree with Emmanuel. I think the Browns will come out and take the win. Demarcus Lawrence didn't practice yesterday. Trevor Diggs banged up. I think Nick Chubb is gonna have a good game. Kareem Hunt will have a good game. I think, and as Faison said, Baker got to throw that ball to OBJ and Jarvis Landry. I got the Browns winning this, 28-21.
Yeah, this is a tough game to call. But if I'm looking at it, I see this game coming down to some weird circumstances. It looks to me like a game where there will be very little defense. That said, if both teams are running the ball, that also means that clock's chewing up. So I kind of see a lower scoring game here. I see a final of Dallas 19, Cleveland 17. Cleveland gives up a late safety. Baker Mayfield making a poor decision in the end zone. 1917 Dallas final.
Big prediction, big prediction. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope Baker plays a great game. Now on to another game, which I do want to see this because this would be perfect tape for Baltimore if we see Kansas City again. Maybe, maybe not. We got the New England Patriots traveling to the defending Super Bowl champs, Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City's favored by 7 with a 7-point edge, and the over/under is 53.5. For New England to win this game, they have to keep up with Kansas City because that's something Baltimore did not do, and they cannot abandon their game plan and they have to score points because Kansas City has just showed you you can't stop them offensively. You just got to keep scoring with them and hope your defense gets key plays because New England has done that in the AFC Championship 2 years ago. I think yes, 2 years ago where they scored just a little bit more than Patrick Mahomes and just got a couple more stops just to help out their offense. And right now, I'm rolling. I'm rolling with Cam Newton and the Patriots. I think they could come in here and pull an upset win. I think it'll be very close. I'm not saying that because I'm salty about Baltimore. That's not. Let's get that out the way. I'm not salty about that win. I I just the way they're playing. I think Cam Newton could come in here and do it, and I think it'll be a close one. I think they'll win. I think it'll be. I think Kansas. I don't know. I think New England will win this with a game-winning field goal, 25-23. Right.
If you check back for week 2, I had Cam Newton making a game-winning drive against the Seahawks, and that was 2 yards away from happening. This Cam Newton with the Patriots is a new Cam Newton. And I see the Kansas City Chiefs having a shootout, just like the Patriots did against the Seahawks. And you're going to see, well, I could see the Patriots defense containing the Chiefs better than the Ravens did last week. But I got the Patriots winning in the end. 31-28. Cam Newton still has another amazing game and leads them to a dub.
Whew. Oh man. This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough. I feel like the main factor is always our defense. We always try to take the opponent's main weapon, but who do you focus on? The Chiefs. It's just so many weapons on there. We can't focus because I always have this common factor with the defense. I've always known that we always try to take away their main weapon. It's gonna be like I said with the Seahawks. It's gonna come down to the offense. I believe the way that we can win this game, we have to pound the ball. We have to eat the clock. We have to keep the ball away from Mahomes. And I feel like we can do that. At the same time, their offense is amazing. Their defense is amazing. I believe if we run the ball, if we chew the clock, we keep the ball away from Mahomes, we can win this game. Hopefully Belichick knows that. I'm rolling with my Patriots. I'm rolling with Cam Newton. I'm gonna say 27-21. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I have a feeling we can upset these guys.
Yeah, I got the Patriots winning this too. I think this is Cam Newton's another game to shine up, as he was so close to beating the Seahawks, like on that game-winning drive. It could have been a game-winning drive, but I'm calling the Patriots, and I think it's gonna be really close. It's gonna be a field goal at the end, and the Patriots will win the game, 31-34.
As much as I would like to agree with you guys, I gotta go with Patrick Mahomes here. What I saw against my team was like, that was just straight out embarrassing. And the Patriots, they have better personnel to deal with that. I agree. But one thing you need is dominant edge rushers. And I'm not saying the Patriots don't have that, but they don't have it in enough quantity. Let's look at the Chargers, for example. Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa were, it was like, said go, and they were already in the backfield. Patrick Mahomes was running for his life. If you don't have that, I don't think you can beat the Chiefs. And to me, the Patriots don't have that. I think the Patriots always play the Chiefs well, but I think Patrick Mahomes comes out with this one. I'm going pretty low scoring, 27-21.
Yeah, I think the one thing that we saw from the Ravens last week was kind of giving up on the run a little bit early when they fell behind. And that's like the trap that Kansas City likes to set for you, right? They like to put you in a position where you feel like you got to be out of your game because you got to keep up with them points wise. And I just don't think that the approach that New England has taken offensively is going to allow them to do that. I think KC gets up early, and I think they pull a big win here. I like 36 for Kansas City, 23 for the Patriots. This is a tough Patriots team, and they're going to be better in January, I think. But I think people are forgetting that, and I don't like to use the word sleep because no one in here sleeps on anything when it comes to the NFL. But I'm just going to say that I think the Chiefs' defense is highly underrated, and they played a great game last week against the Ravens. Yes, the drops contributed. Yes, the game plan by the Ravens offensively wasn't as good as it's been in the past. But they absolutely confused Lamar back there with some of those looks, and they brought pressure when they needed to. So I think Kansas City's defense is a lot better than they're getting credit for, and I like them to romp on Sunday and continue.
Now moving on to one of our more less interesting games, but looking at it now with injuries that are happening, it's turned into an interesting game. You got the Philadelphia Eagles going into San Francisco to play the NFC champs, defending San Francisco 49ers. Philly surprisingly is favored by almost a touchdown, and the over-under is 58. Now that's a shocker coming that the Eagles are 0-1. They tied with Joe Burrow and the Bengals. And
That
then
might be reversed. I don't know. We might have to look at that again. Really? The
that's
Eagles are
what I
favored.
that's what I saw. I mean, if someone could check that now, great. If not, I think it may have changed. But I mean, I have to take this as an automatic upset. San Francisco looked real good against the Giants without most of their team, and they obliterated the Giants. And that's just giving uh, a salute to Kyle Shanahan and his ability just to play without his stars. But I can't count it too much because it's the Giants, and the Giants are just they're just a casket fire, and just like Dave Gettleman needs to just get out of there. Like they just need to fire him. Um, this is actually a tough game. Y'all may have to come back to me. I don't know what to say.
It says San Francisco -7.
Uh,
Yeah, so it's just reversed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, this game is pretty interesting because on paper it looks like domination by the Niners, but the Niners faced the Giants in just back-to-back weeks with absolute like their whole roster being depleted, and they still won pretty easy in both games. And the Eagles, on the other hand, have also had injuries and played the opposite. They have Deshaun. They have one receiver on their roster that's currently healthy. Deshaun Jackson's injured. Alshon Jeffrey's injured. Jalen Rager was just placed on IR. This Eagles roster is depleted, and Carson Wentz is not playing like the Carson Wentz last year, where he was carrying them to wins. But I'm gonna pick a surprise. I'm gonna say Eagles managed to win through Carson Wentz in a surprising game-winning drive by Carson Wentz against the Niners. 26-21, Carson Wentz game-winning drive against the Niners.
I think I say make some good points. You know, the Eagles are a depleting team, but the one thing the Eagles are lacking is confidence. That team has no confidence whatsoever. They are not confident they can go win a game, and it's looking bad for Philly. It really is, and I feel actually really bad for them. Like the Niners beat the Jets. It was the Jets. The Eagles should have beat the Bengals. Like, come on, tying against the Bengals with Joe Burrow as a rookie, like that team is nothing. That Bengals team they should have easily beat them, and tying them is pretty embarrassing. I have the Niners winning this 31-21.
I got I mean, I think this game is like the Eagles and Carson Wentz has to like prove what he is and what he does in the NFL. But I gotta stick with the Niners for this game. I got the Niners winning 28-21. They look good with Nick Mullins too. And the running game is actually like the Ravens game. Like one player goes down, they still got Jared McKinnon, Jeff Wilson making plays in the catching game. Yeah, I got the Niners 28-21.
I agree. I got the Niners here also. It's kind of sad to see Carson Wentz playing like this, even though he has no receivers. I mean, 2 years ago, before he got injured, this man was arguably the MVP. He was playing lights out, and now it's like it's a totally different quarterback. Something's obviously wrong in Philly. I'm gonna go with the Niners here, 28-14.
Yeah, I got to take the Niners also. I just don't see a way that the Eagles' offense is productive enough to put up the kind of points they're going to need to win this game. Wentz, to me, I see him really struggling, even throwing the ball to the sideline. Like he just doesn't have the same zip on his ball. He looked awful against the Bengals, particularly in that overtime. He looked horrendous. Now, granted, we talked about all the reasons why that could be, but at the end of the day, aside from a 10-game stretch, Carson Wentz has been a pretty average quarterback in the NFL, if you really look at it, right? He had about a 10-game stretch where he was on fire. And other than that, what has he done? I bet they wish they had Nick Foles right now. San Francisco 30, Eagles 13.
I would like to point out Carson Wentz, he's been getting a lot of flack this year, but I'm pretty sure many QBs would struggle if they had the Eagles roster. In NFL, you got to win those tough games where you're unmatched. And this game is a decision breaker because they got to face the Ravens. They got to face us, the Saints, the Chiefs this season. So
Steelers next week.
this year, just the season's over. And I'm going to pick the Eagles to manage to win this game, mainly because they have to win one good game. They have to.
I do like that pick because, I feel like Doug Peterson's an excellent coach. He's proven that. I like the circumstances and everything you speak of. Kind of the NFL magic kind of things happen sometimes. And as a Steelers fan, selfishly, I would really like for the Eagles to get that win so they can come into Pittsburgh with one already underneath them, because that's a dangerous team at 0-3-1 coming in after a bye week for us. And we know Ben after byes is no good. So, yeah, get that win, Eagles. I can't pick it because I don't believe it's going to happen, but I think if Estes goes through, he is our picks leader, by the way. So we got to kind of respect that. That's my favorite pick of the day, even though I don't agree with it. I like the methodology behind it.
Now coming back because I didn't pick for the Eagles and 49ers, just thinking about it. Is this, like what Essay said, this is the must-win game for them. They got a horrible and brutal stretch ahead for them, man. I think maybe this win, if they do win it, they could be a very scary team. It could be the confidence they need, being the NFC champs defending, like they could need to win the NFC East. Because that NFC East, the way it's looking, somehow, I don't know how, but right now, Eagles are just behind by, I think, half a win or like 1.5. They're not even that far behind. And that just shows you how bad that division is. And for that reason, I do agree with Essen. I think Philly's gonna come out and win this game. It's gonna be hard fought, and I think Jake Elliott's gonna come out, kick another game-winning field goal. I got them winning 23-20. Now on to our final game, Monday Night Football. We got the choke artists, the Atlanta Falcons, traveling to the Green Bay Packers. Honestly, something in me wants to say Atlanta wins this because they need to stay in their division, and they've gotten brutally murdered these 2 weeks about choking leads. They lost one to Dallas, which Dallas should be 0-3 right now. There's no question about that. They should be 0-3. I don't know how they lost that. 16 points in 5 minutes, and then they should have beaten the Bears. And they found a way for Nick Foles to come back in and win that game. And I think at this point, I think the Falcons just say enough and come into Green Bay and do something. Because Alan Lazard is out. That's a weapon gone, but they do get back Devontae Adams. I want to say Green Bay wins this game because I do think Green Bay is a better team, but I just feel like maybe the Falcons could just come into Green Bay and win a very, 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 very close one that could come to a game-winning field goal, like literally game-winning to their nice young kicker. I feel it'll be very close. Actually, don't kill me for this. I'm taking Atlanta 33-32. Literally that close. It's literally that close. You can kill me for it. I don't care.
I mean, I could see why our defense is okay, but mainly our run defense is horrendous these past couple of weeks. But the main thing is this Falcons defense is disgusting. There was a play last week with Mitchell Trubisky running. There was no player 50 yards within him, nobody. And we saw what Wilson did, the MVP frontrunner. We saw what Nick Foles being able to lead a comeback with out of nowhere. Cowboys managed to put up 40 points, and the Packers currently average 40 points a game against the Atlanta Falcons defense, which is last, like giving up, I think, 34 points a game. That is a horrible mismatch, and I could even with Lazard out, this Packers team will put points with Jones, Adams. Hopefully, he plays anywhere. Somebody will step up. Hopefully that will happen. I see the Packers scoring 50 this game, 50-35 Packers.
I mean, that's a bold take, but I can see that happening. This Falcons defense is horrific. And the fact that Dan Quinn still has a job actually pisses me off. I'm sorry, but it still pisses me off. I don't understand how that guy has a job. Like that's disgraceful. But I think the Packers can actually put up 50 points. This, like I said during the Cowboys game that we were talking about, like their secondary is horrific. It's just terrible. And with I think their first round pick, AJ Terrell, I don't even think he's playing. I think he's on the COVID list. I don't know. I have to fact check that. Someone has to fact check that for me. But even with him in, Aaron Rodgers is just going to destroy the secondary. Even without all of his top receivers, he still has Aaron Jones, who's arguably top 3, top 5 running back in the game. But that's all he has. So I'm still picking the Packers to win. Atlanta's offense is stale. Matt Ryan, I don't know what the heck he's doing. I'm gonna say 35-24 Green Bay.
I got the Packers winning this game. They're just gonna come out and blow them out, as he said. I got them scoring 48-21. I think this is the game Aaron Jones goes off. Like they have no run defense. Their defense is just not good. I got Aaron Jones going off. I got the Packers winning 48-21.
As much as I would love to pick the Falcons here, I just can't, honestly. I don't have trust in Dan Quinn. I don't have trust in that defense. One surprising thing though about the Packers is this drop off in the secondary. Obviously, Jair has been great, but Savage, I don't know what's wrong with him this year. He was balling out last year. He does not look the same. I forgot the other corner, King. I think that's his name. I don't know what he's been doing this year either. If you can't shut down Calvin Ridley, who's looking like a number one right now, and Julio and
Julio's back.
yeah, like I don't know, but I'm gonna still have to ride with Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones. I have them pulling out a close one, 38-35 Packers.
Well, Green Bay showed a lot last week, guys. That was a desperate New Orleans team that had to have that game because they knew they couldn't fall behind Tampa already, even with one in the hole against them. And Green Bay came out and just got it done. And I look at that second half, and yeah, their defense, run defense, wow. That almost looked fake, that Kamara touchdown. It was like a video game or something. It looked like they weren't even trying to tackle him. But really, he's A, that elusive, and B, they're that unsound. And so, I think that will come back to haunt them later. But right now, man, that offensive train is just rolling. And Rodgers has got that look at his eye right now, that incredible confidence. And this is blowout city, man. I see final score 45-12. Green Bay Packers. The last game of Dan Quinn's coaching career.
This is one of those games that I always see blow out, but then it's going to be closer than expected, but we end up winning. But I really, really hope this is one game where it's like a complete shutout, and Rodgers has like maybe a 5-6 touchdown game, possibly.
And
but you also got to remember. Come on, you can go, Mr. Ellis.
No, that's it. I'm good.
But you also guys got to remember, this is one of Dan Quinn's biggest games. He's choked 3 leads. He might as well be the NFL version of Doc Rivers. He can't. If he does this again, he might as well be done, and they might find a new interim coach. And I think him to beat the Packers will keep his job.
It would.
It wouldn't be good for the Falcons, but yeah, he'll get it. He'll get a 1-game extension.
He literally has to empty the clip. He has to empty the clip and throw everything at Green Bay, and just hope their offense outscores Green Bay. That's literally their only hope, because their defense does not look good, or their defense makes a few key stops.
So hard to say that, because I feel like this is one of the games like last year, how Aaron Jones just had 4 touchdowns in one game. I feel like that's just him balling out. I think this is Aaron Jones' game. Yeah.
You saw what they did against the Lions when they just went DB heavy and they made Jones run. And when you make Jones run,
exactly, it's over.
Yeah, that's
100 yards,
another X factor. That's another X
touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. It's just pick your poison with the Packers right now.
3 or 4 touchdowns for Jones. I think I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look good, guys. They look good. Obviously, I think the two teams that look best right now, obviously Green Bay in the NFC and AFC, the Chiefs. That looks like a collision course to me on paper, but it's only week 4 starting up, so we got lots of time. Let's hope we have lots of time for this season. But yeah, good. Interesting.
Go ahead. Not bad.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying they just finalized your game, Mr. Ellis. Pittsburgh got Ravens.
Yeah.
Week 8.
Yeah, and I can complain all day about the fact that the Ravens will have a bye week before playing us, while we'll have to play at Tennessee. Thanks to Tennessee's, whatever occurred. I don't want to judge what occurred yet or not. But at the end of the day, that does make things a lot tougher for the Steelers. At the same time, it puts us in great shape to be 5-0 going into those 2 games. And really, if we split, then we still have the upper hand. But it'll be interesting because, you got to go 1 game at a time at this point. We've only seen 3 games. We haven't beat a single team with a win yet. So there's a long way to go for everybody. But this we know, guys, is that, we're having a week 4. So we need to be thankful for that we're having a week 4, that, most of these games are being played. And most of all, we just hope for the safety of everybody out there, not just NFL players and their families, but of course, everybody checking in with us and, everybody in the PB community, guys. It's so hard not to be there with y'all right now. It's so hard not to, be at sporting events for PB. It's so hard not to, be walking down the hallway and checking out the PB, newspaper room and all those things. It's hard not to be in those situations. It's hard not to be in our room to do our games like we love to do at lunch in our haphazard fashion that we always do. But the fact that we are lucky enough to have this forum in which to present our thoughts to you, we truly appreciate everybody. And I just want to shout out personally these starting 5 of seniors, great young men who are going to make a difference in the world, whatever they decide to do. But certainly here for the hour that they get you per day, they're going to give you everything they got. And you see on paper that these guys put the time in. They deserve everybody's attention and listening. And thanks, guys, for making my week a little bit better every week doing this. It's appreciated and, inspired by you as our senior class. You guys are getting ready to move some mountains, and we need you to. So, thanks.
Hey, quick shout out to Marlon Humphrey, $98 million contract.
Boy got paid.
Deserves every penny. Deserves every penny. Yeah.
Top corners in the league.
Better than Jair.
He is better than Jair.
Nope.
Okay. First
You
team all
can
pro.
tell yourself all. You can tell
Football.
yourself that if you want.
One team's 3-0, the other team's 2-1. So that's who's better in my opinion. One team's 3-0, the other one's 2-1. So
Marlo is better than Alexander.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
be glad you have it. Just be glad you guys have both those guys.
Oh, yeah.
They're beasts, no question. Well, look, next week, week 5, we have some stronger matchups. So, look forward to talking about some of those. But we'll see. Anybody can trip up at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So you never know. It's only week 4. So, all right, take us out, somebody.
I can't wait to see you guys next week, and I hope everyone's predictions go right. Well, some got to go wrong, others got to go right. And we're just praying this week goes soundly and that we have a week 5 next week to talk to you guys about football. Ravens Nation, we out 3-1, baby.
Go.
2-1.
You about to be 3-1.
Washington football team.